Yo gamers, my name is Flawes. Welcome to a little bit of a special Hollow Knight video here. There are a lot of tier lists out there ranking bosses from best to worst or worst to best. But I'm gonna do it a bit differently. I am gonna be ranking the bosses for how much they hate you. Or Ghost at least. And all the bosses are ranked in the order that I met them while doing my first playthrough, and feel free to check it out if you want to. And also, if you want to watch the second best playthrough of Silksong, just behind yours, feel free to subscribe. But let's get started, okay? And first off, we have Flawes Knight or Flawes Champion. He only wanted to be stronger in order to protect his siblings, so he used his rat-tacular tactics to take advantage of Hegemol's sleeping and ended up gaining the strength he sought from it. Overall misunderstood, he throws tantrums, not hands. So we'll put him in C tier. Moving on to our second boss is Hornet. Yes, I met Hornet as the second boss. And Hornet is successfully disappointed in you. However, as the game progresses, she realizes that we are not any kind of vessel, and that there is more to us than meets the eye. And she even helped us defeating our brother, so we'll put Hornet in D tier, which is also known as Friend tier. Our third entry is none other than Massive Moss Charger, also known as Massive Mossy. It is just a bunch of small mossies protecting their territory, so C tier for general hate towards foreigners.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try to wake you up, and I don't have any other way to wake you up.
The fourth boss in our tier list is Gru's mother, and she is just an exhausted yet rude mother that was blocking our path. Even though I asked nicely, they never moved. Also, did I mention she was an optional boss? C tier. Next up is one of the best guard home fights because it is so fluid and clean. That's right. It is Mantis Lords. They see respect in strength, so they check your metal, and if you prove worthy, you'll gain their respect. Although they are haters of the Pale King. But that is not us, even though we are born because of him. But we do get out to see who is the stronger one, and when you prove worthy, you basically gain the title of Friend. So they are going into the Friend tier. You know, after such a banger of a boss fight, we need to, tone it down a smidgen. Soul Warrior. I almost forgot this was a boss. An enhanced warrior with stolen soul, and with that he earns the A tier hate title. He may just have been gaslit to do so, but it doesn't clear him of his sins, right? Soul Master, a leader searching for ways to expand the mind of bugs and attain pure focus. But in his pursuit of grandeur, he lost himself to the infection. This absolute villain consumed the souls of unfortunate bugs, and he gained more power from it. Which places him at S tier hater, a massive L for Mr. Cat Ears. Dung Defender. A loyal king forever and ever, a man who just misses a better time with his friends. Friend tier.
Hey, you good? You good, friend? Oh no, I have to hit? Oh, maybe it'll save them. Hey!
Crystal Guardian. We woke them up from a nap, so that earns them the right of S tier hater. Even though the reality is way sadder than that. And in case someone wants the reality of it, it was a worker in the Crystal Peaks that fell to the infection and then got reanimated by it. Which earns them the C tier hater. Galleon, a warrior who sought to become a Knight of Hallownest. However, he didn't even know of his own demise, so we give him an honorable death as he deserves. Friend tier. It's Norse time. A mimic that tears at your heartstrings by disguising themselves as your siblings and then hangs them from the ceiling? Undoubtedly, S tier for Norse. Also, did you know that Norse can fly? So the mighty, a king who doesn't dabble in weakness, who only seeks the greatest of foes and don't want anyone in his way. A certified S tier hater for him. Nah, just kidding. He is as tsundere as it gets, so he is a friend. Broken vessel. The name states it all. Broken like our hearts when we have to take down one of our own. Frontier. Invincible, fearless, sensual, mysterious, enchanting, vigorous, diligent, overwhelming, gorgeous, passionate, terrifying, beautiful, powerful. Grey Prince Sode. He should be crowned king for serving his queen the best way possible. A role model for men as to how to treat their queen. I give him a solid frontier. Next up, we have Oblobbles. What kind of name is that? I mean, I first met it in Colosseum of Fools, and it was just hanging around, you know? So we are bringing it down to a C tier. Umu, an intelligent infected jellyfish that is just protecting its master. But since it is a bomber, I give it C tier. Watcher Knights, doing their duties as knights, protecting the Watcher, is what I would have said if it didn't die and get reanimated by the infection. So we give it A tier, which might be contradictory with what I've said earlier in this tier list. Next up is our lovely brother, the Hollow Knight. He who wants to kill the infection contained within him so badly that he is trying to off himself like there is no tomorrow. Friend tier for our brother, absolute homie. Everyone's favorite character, Gorp. Bow, 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 bow to Gorp. Nothing much to say here other than Gorp tier. Next up is Marmu. Little flying roly bug that just wants to have fun. Friend tier. Traitor Lord doesn't like outsiders, doesn't approve of his daughter's love for the Grey Mourner. A solid S tier hater on this guy. Actually, never mind. He killed Clove. You are getting yeeted up into the S+ tier hater, buddy. But at least Clove went out like a badass. No, 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 no. The Collector. While being concerned with the preservation of other bugs, the Collector has trapped grubs in jars whether they like it or not. It is almost like they were trying to protect us from something about the grubs that we don't know about. Oh well, it is probably nothing. So B tier hater. Grim, just a troop leader feeding the Nightmare's heart with nightmare flames. Overall a chill guy who uses us for his own advantage. And whilst that is a negative, I'll give him C tier for that. Almost friend tier. Next up is Zero. A warrior who believed in strength that would allow him to have a bright future, whereas the infection was like, nope. Which resulted in him defying the king and ending up in the resting grounds as a reminder to anyone else to never betray the king. When we first meet him, he could see no wrongs in his doings. However, once defeated, he realized how irrational he was and can finally rest. So basically, he was tweaking out, and that puts him in C tier. It is time for the loving, caring, and protective mother, Noice. One of the sadder stories in Hollow Knight, she was a warrior of Hallownest who fell to, you guessed it, the infection. To protect herself and other bugs, she stripped out both their eyes and her own before succumbing. And when we first meet Noice, she senses us but fears that we are here to hurt her and the spirits of the sanctuary. After absolutely demolishing her, she realizes that we were never there to harm her, and asks us to lead the spirits to rest. And with that backstory told, we are gonna give her a D tier. She is basically like a mom protecting her children. And no, we're not gonna go back to Gru's mother. Elder who? Oh, who? Yeah, him. A traveling sage seeking to purify Hallownest of the infection, but of course he himself succumbed to it, and it made him see the Mantis tribe afflicted with the plague, and then he chose to fight them. But of course, the Mantis being the gigachats that they are, they folded him like a piece of paper. First meeting, he is still deluded by madness, but once defeated, he's just some guy who wanted the best for the kingdom. Which brings him to D tier, also known as Friend tier. Next up is one you might not expect, but it is Songstress Marissa. And I know you might be thinking, but Gamer Guy Flawes, Marissa is not a boss. While that may be true, I still conquered her soul like the Lich King conquered all of Lordaeron. So that puts the Knight at S+ tier hater. Next up, we have the biggest White Knight of them all, and no, I am not talking about the White Defender, or Sot for that matter. I am talking about the one above all, Hive Knight. The biggest threat of the Hive, seeking only to protect his beloved Queen Vespa. Although she died many years ago, he still holds out hope that she one day just wakes up and revives the Hive. What a champion, so I'll give him C tier. On the outskirts of the Colosseum of Fools, we have the Pale Lurker. Strangely obsessed that led to obvious insanity, since we can't get close to said person because they would indicate that we invade their personal space. So I am gonna give her a solid B tier hater. Finally, someone gets a B tier spot. Flugmorm. I don't even know how to pronounce that correctly, but honestly, I didn't have a good answer here, so I asked ChatGPT to give me an answer, and it gave me B tier. And here is its reply, and of course, I'll read it up for you guys. And this is the final answer considering infection. A mindless infected creature defending her hive, not a villain with deep personal hatred. If she was uninfected, maybe just a D tier grumpy mom. But since we can't know for sure about her uninfected state, we'll definitely give her a B tier. Next up is our beloved brothers Nailmaster Oro and Mato. They are literally our friends who taught us our nail art, so instantly in the friend category. And of course, we have the third brother, Painmaster Shio, also a friend, so instantly in the friend category. You probably expected me to mention Sly here, but it is actually Guard Tamer, because I think I forgot to include her in the Trials of the Fool's attempts, so I'm just gonna do it here. Basically, just doing it for the love of the game, but still, B tier hater. Next up is our geo-loving gigachat, Nail Sage Sly, instantly in the friend category.
You have come a long way just to die here at the edge of the world. No, do not speak. I have heard thousands and thousands of empty words from those like you. Your pride, your desires, your desperation. You will take these things with you once I strike you down. Raise your weapon then, and die like those who came before you.
Now is the time for everyone's beloved edgelord and probably most hated boss right after Oblobbles. That's right, it's Markov time. This guy is so arrogant that I am actually just respectfully gonna put him in S tier hater category, but he did calm down a bit after we humble him. Respectfully so. This is one of the only times where I'll include a different version of an already existing boss, which is Pure Vessel, because they are so vastly different from the Hollow Knight. Since Pure Vessel is basically a sparring match between two loving siblings, whereas the Hollow Knight is trying to end themselves for our sake. But still, Pure Vessel goes into the friends category. Do you guys remember that I was gonna rank the bosses in the order that I met them? Of course I did meet this boss in the Trial of the Fool, in the Pantheon, but let's take the original destination of this boss. It is the Brooding Moloch. Yes, I met this boss this late into the game, and I mean not to judge a book by its cover, which is definitely what I'm gonna be doing with this one. Even without the infection, definitely an S tier hater. Like, just look at the mouth hole of this creature, and it visibly shows its butthole to you. And last but not least, Absolute Radiance. Literally the cause of everything bad in Hallownest, the infection, the fall of an empire, the root of all evil. We are gonna be generous and give absolute radiance the God tier hater title. And that is gonna be it for this tier list. You guys most probably have a different opinion and perception than mine, so feel free to leave your comments below of where you would place different characters. Because this is of course my opinion, my perception of the bosses in the game, and yeah. This was a fun little video to make, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'm gonna mention this again. If you guys wanna experience the second best playthrough of Silksong, just behind yours, feel free to subscribe. It's gonna happen right here. And thank you all so very much for watching. The friendly stuff reminds us to leave a like and subscribe to stay tuned for more. It helps a ton, so thank you in advance. And until next time. And 3, 2, 1. Fades away.